Well, here we are. This is January 8th, 2021, and this is my kitchen. So in it right now you can see there is a frozen jungle of araucarias and cycads and agaves and other frost tender plants, all trying to survive this little cold spell we're having. Yeah. This is a tough time for everybody. Okay, let's go ahead and go over into the other room here, into the Genkan, and I'll show you what's going on there. Okay, more madness. Here's the rest of my araucarias. They probably can handle this cold. We've only gone down to about -3 so far. But rather than risk it, I decided to bring them inside, and you can see there's more cycads in here, Cycas debauensis and Ceratizamia hilde, and I got some Encephalertos down there as well. That's Senecasis, and yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and run outside, and I'll show you the winter wonderland we're dealing with. And here's the back garden. You can see I've got the tree ferns in their tents. Yeah. Everything else should be okay. Back there you can see is the Platycerium bifurcatum. Not happy, but probably okay. I might take him in later, try to protect him a little better. Of course, no problem with the rhododendrons here. He's fine. The Fukidan collection should be fine. These are all up and under the eaves here, so they're protected. So there's no issues there. Everything is pretty much going to be okay in the garden, except for a couple plants, and I'll show you those. Of course, the Tillandsia Eusinoides is just fine. And here is another Tillandsia bergeri, which is no problem. He'll be all right. One plant that really is getting nailed is this philodendron. He might live. He's been through this worse kind of weather before, so I think he'll be all right. Ficus superba bonsai I made over the summer. Again, no problems. Might get a little bit of leaf burn. Here in the dark, underneath the carport, protected, is the other Platycerium bifurcatum. Again, don't imagine there'll be any problems with that. You can see all of the Dendrobium millenniforme doing fine, and also the Vanda falcata, aka Neophonetia falcata. Under here I have protected Bulbophyllum ambrosia, which is not quite cold hardy to this region, so that'll be a real test. And then another bubble wrapped plant, and that's Maxillaria parviflora. So all in all, looking pretty darn chilly out here on this January day. So, what can I say about today and this weather? This is typical for this region. So we have a nearly subtropical climate here, but sometimes we get these little cold waves that come through, and usually they don't last more than, say, a night. So we'll get a snowfall, significantly more than this one sometimes, but the temperatures are never, far below zero. So right now that means Celsius. So right now it's -2 Celsius, which is usually about the bottom of where we go to. Historically in this area it can go down to even as low as -5 or 6. I've seen, I think, to about -4.5 here before. The problem with events like this one is that their duration is the key factor. So if you get one night where it gets down to -2 and a little snowy, and then the next day it recovers up to, say, 5 degrees. By the way, -2 is probably about 28 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm guessing. That's okay. The plants can pull through okay. But when you start seeing below freezing temperatures, and that could be any temperature below freezing, even for more than, say, 12, 15 hours, something like that, you're going to start seeing dying at that point. And we're already now into over 24 hours of this. Looks like it's going to extend for another 24, maybe even more. So we might be going 50 hours or more of this kind of cold. So we're going to see a lot of damage and possibly losing things. I've tried to be careful about it this year. I've got the tree ferns all wrapped up. They did great for 2 years with that kind of a wrapping, but this year I'm not so sure. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens in the spring. If they are dead, then I think I'm pretty much done with trying to do tree ferns in this climate. It's just too much work. Yes, I could do lights and all kinds of other insulating techniques, but I've just gotten to a point where I'm not interested in that much effort. I prefer to grow plants that can at least handle anything that this climate can throw at them. Anyway, that's probably the last video I'll do for a while. It gets real slow here in the wintertime. The ume trees will be blooming soon, probably in about a month or so. So probably around then I'll start resuming doing garden videos like this. So let's all hope for a good 2021.